Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is made possible by Assured Partners, Greg Young of Marshalltown, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, The Gregors Furniture and Mattress, Sports Plus, Wayward Social, Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, Marshalltown School District, Scooters of Marshalltown, State Farm, mtownproud.com.
Safety! Dropped in the end zone. It's Niehaus. Goldman, that one will get in. That's a good point right there. A shot coming here. That's a goal. Lifted to left center field. Gets off the warning track into the wall. Transition three. Boom! Knocks that one down. And it's a goal. What a beautiful play. Dutton, look what I found over the first. It's a 3-on-1 all the way. Yes! There he goes.
Your home for the Bobcats, KFJB-TV. Welcome to the countdown to tip-off.
It is the Conference of Champions, a Super Tuesday here on KFJB-TV. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Doze alongside me in his full dad gear here tonight. We appreciate that. As the Mason City Riverhawks going to do battle against the Bobcats. The first time around, it was a blowout. It was just a smattering right off the bat in that game. And really, you know, some of the guys down low, Ty Sanchez, Evans, but again, some of the other pieces working together for Mason City. This seems like this is a crew really starting to find it under 11th year head man Nick Trask.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. You could say, hey, the first game was postponed. Then there was weather going up there. But really what happened was this is the best Riverhawks team we've covered. This team is much better than they have been in years past. Ty Sanchez Evans has hurt us over and over, that big interior size. But the guy that I look at is Marcel Whitner. We've watched him over years. He's 6'4", but a lot of length at guard play, and they destroyed us on the glass. If you're going to get doubled up on the glass, you're going to lose almost every single time.
Typically, these two teams split during the regular season. How do the Bobcats do that here tonight?
It really comes down to who is the secondary scorer. And I actually think there needs to be 3 scorers here tonight. Kyle Smith has shot it incredibly well at home. He's been a little bit less on the road, but he's hit 15 threes in the last 2 home games. I really see Kyle needing to be able to find his rhythm, but Jacob Hayes has got to be aggressive, and Drake Gersma's got to be able to finish at the rim while still getting other people involved.
Boys' game is around the corner. The Bobcats are 0-5 in their last 5. Meanwhile, the Riverhawks come in 4-1 in their last 5 games. We've got bonus coverage of the girls' game coming up in just a moment. This is Bobcat Basketball. You're watching KFJB-TV. Welcome back in the Marshalltown Roundhouse. Brandon Lewis, again, Dylan Doze alongside me on a Super Tuesday. In the girls' game, Bobcats down 27-11, but an inside bucket by Georgia Jansen. Much needed right there, 27-13, and early on in this one, Dylan, it was Bobcats hanging right in there with Mason City, but a little bit of that pressure really started to work in and bother the Cats.
What's really happened with the Bobcats is they've done a better job of breaking that initial press, but once they break it, that's where we've had some turnovers. One of the big growth areas for the Bobcats moving forward this season into next is looking to not only break the press, but breaking the press to score. You're never going to get a pressing team out of the press if you don't make them pay on the back end, and the Bobcats have often had 2-on-3 or 2-on-1, 3-on-2 opportunities and just held up you need to break the press to score as Mason City scores again there.
Morgan Hildebrand has the ball pushed out of bounds on the far side, and so Bobcats will keep possession here as Millie Heitman will inbound.
Morgan having a nice night, leads the team in scoring. She's got 5, hitting a nice corner 3 as well, but just ripped away. Mason City has run this trap forever, this full court trapping defense, and it's a well-oiled machine. And this is what I don't understand. On this press break, they allow a lot of defenders to go through your back, and to me that looks like a foul. It's called a foul in the half-court defense. But on full court pressure, they allow a lot more contact. But again, Bobcats just have to be strong with the basketball, strong with it and strong to it.
Boy, a lollipop of a 3 will go in for Mason City.
That should come with a free bag of Skittles, because at the end of that rainbow, there was gold. Morgan gets it blocked, took it straight to the rack. I really like how aggressive she's been. Bobcats have really struggled, though, in the half court. I think ideally you'd like to be able to play more and more through Frankie Long, as that's a big piece that she needs to develop, especially going into next year, is just be more comfortable as an offensive threat.
Heitman with the rebound. Mason City 9-4. They're 3-1 in the Iowa Alliance North. Meanwhile, the Bobcats looking for their first conference victory here tonight. They're 0-4 in conference play and 5-8 on the season. You know, Dylan, I was thinking about this girls squad. You know, such a strong start. I believe they were 4-1 after the first week and a half of the season. Obviously, a little bit of lower competition in that span, but how do they kind of get it figured out here? As right there is a good way as Millie Heitman scores it off the glass on the inbound.
Well, you looked initially at that Roosevelt game Friday night. 12 minutes into the game, it's 15-13. And it really came where they found their advantage. Offensively, it's always going to be Frankie Long in the post. I think some of it has to do with how do you elevate her play in the post. I think it comes with much more aggressive offensive play through Morgan Hildebrand, through Millie Heitman. Those are two people that I think that can shoot it well and can score it well. But ultimately it comes down to every team that has pressed them aggressively, overtime has gotten them to turn the ball over. And I simply think if they can trust themselves to go not only from breaking the press, but looking to score off that press, that's going to be a way that they're going to be able to manufacture points. Because right now, they just don't score enough points to win ball games.
Heitman after the steal. Bobcats travel and turn it right back over to the Riverhawks. Jumper from inside by Trask is no good.
And this is where they had numbers.
Bowie goes inside and loses it at the free throw line. Backdoor cut to Heitman off the glass. That is a beautifully executed offensive play to get the Cats back on the board. 34-17 as Mason City has doubled them up.
And you look on the court right now, Ellie Hughes with a great pass to the back cutting Heitman. She's the only one that will not be on this squad next year. But you just look
Sydney Capay, who's
on
out.
The court.
Yeah, on the court right now, yeah.
As I said, on the court.
But Sydney Capeyu is out with an injury, and that's it. So, I mean, you really have a nice core coming back next year as the Bobcats get the ball back. Morgan Hildebrand will be a sophomore next year, and that'll be key, too, as Bowie lines up the three and knocks it down. 34-20, trying to make a comeback with nearing a minute to go in the third.
You just saw back-to-back great offensive sets from the Bobcats. They were able to swing it to one side and then get the back cut to Heitman for a layup, and then Hildebrand does a great job of cross-court pass to the wide-open Kinsley Bowie. And
Bowie with the smile as we head to a timeout. Bobcats trailing by 14 inside the Roundhouse on KFJB-TV.
Sportsmanship starts with us. As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
No,
34-20 is our score. Super Tuesday inside the Roundhouse. Looking at that last cut, Ellie Heitman as Ellie Hughes found her, but at 3 out of the timeout taken by head coach Trask from Mason City. So a big answer after Bowie knocked down the 3, and as Bowie gets it over the midcourt stripe, she is bumped, and a foul is going to come in on Anna Latham, the sophomore guard. That'll be her 3rd foul of the night.
Do you know who her grandpa is?
Tom Latham.
Tom Latham.
Yeah.
Don't fact check us.
Retired
Yes.
politician Tom Latham. Spending all of his time in Mason City these days.
Yeah, watching the grandkids.
Breakaway to Latham on cue, and it's good for 2. Back to a 19-point lead for Mason City as Riverhawks took down the Bobcats back on December 19th. Georgia Jansen gets caught up, puts up a shot. It's no good. Now there's a tie-up possession arrow with the Riverhawks.
One of my things with Georgia always tries to swish whatever shot she's got. I would love to see her more, to be able to absorb contact. You can put it up off the glass. She just tries to swish every one. Love to see her put it up off the glass.
That one, I think the Air Ducks got that one because that was well off the line. A little breezy in here tonight, Dylan. It's also chilly outside.
Yeah, I was outside, and I'm like, it is 30 degrees. It was like 8, so I'm like, this is almost like 25 degrees warmer than it was when I woke up.
It did not feel like it, though, with the wind as Georgia Jansen tries to scoop and score, draws a foul. Doesn't make the bucket, but with 5.5 seconds to go in the third quarter, Jansen is headed to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, Georgia just over a 40% free throw shooter.
Zarai Falls committed her 3rd foul of the night right there. Jansen can't hit either, but Bowie gets the rebound. Putback strong. Heitman with the rebound, and that putback is good as we go to the fourth quarter. 17-point lead for the Mason City Riverhawks. This is bonus coverage of the girls' game. You're watching KFJB-TV.
In Iowa, we are fortunate to have a lot of opportunities to get involved in at our schools.
Athletics and activities have so many positive effects. From learning how to build relationships and healthy lifestyles,
And gain self-esteem and confidence.
Make participation a priority. You and your school will benefit.
Welcome back to Marshalltown. No, glad we did not make that. Glad we didn't make the trip to Mason City tonight.
Yeah, so am I.
That was fun the first time. You were not there, though.
No.
Plenty of snow to be had.
Yeah, the best part of going to Mason City is going through our Dale, because it's not my Dale, it's not your Dale, it's our Dale.
That is true. It's a great town. Population of 7.
Maybe.
There's a co-op, so people are employed, Dylan. I don't think there's a post office, though.
No, I don't believe so.
That's the thing about Mason City. There's no good way to get there.
No, there is not. I was just in Newton. Similar.
Don't find yourself at the end of a cul-de-sac. You might get lost.
Yes, you will.
Open jumper, Latham 3, knocks it down from straight on.
That was Tim Wakefield-esque. I don't know if that ball actually had a rotation.
11 for Latham tonight. Hildebrand left open, and she'll answer. She's just getting more confident as the season goes along in her freshman season.
Yeah, shooting over 30% from three, and as a true freshman, kind of thrust into action with the Amara Johnson injury. She's going to be a great shooter.
Yeah. Falls stepping through for two. And now a pick. Brogan Evans has it. 2-on-1. She'll dish it off. And they try to go back, and Jansen knocks it out of bounds on the baseline.
And
Georgia Jansen, by the way, sorry to cut you off, Dylan. She'll be our Cat Connection coming up in between the boys and girls game.
That's a worthy reason to cut her off. Georgia's always fun to talk to, but I feel like Morgan is a drive and a block by Frankie. I think Morgan's one that I would not be surprised if she's one of the top 2 scorers next year. She's got that kind of shot.
Oh, good block by Jansen again. So back-to-back blocks for the Cats. It's one thing they do really well is get the hands up.
Well, and that's that whole thing. The Bobcats have half of a over 500 team.
Good move by Frankie. She didn't put it on the block right there, Dylan. She went right up with it and kept the ball up high. Drew the foul, didn't make the bucket, but we've been saying those are things that she should be doing more, and she definitely has. And good play right there as Latham picks up her 4th.
Yeah, Bobcats have a over 500 defense on the court. This is that offensive side, that big step as Frankie knocks it down is, like you said, be aggressive on the post, look to score, and then she's got to finish it at the line.
Well, it seems like that for especially being as young of a team as the Bobcats are. You've got a lot of sophomores, freshmen, and juniors playing with minimal, senior production out there or involvement with just 2 on the roster. But, it seems like the defense is definitely ahead of the offense. It's just once they get that other piece together, they'll be definitely really hard. As 3 Bobcats step in on Falls, try to go in, and it's knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, and that's last week on Bobcat Live. Talked to Frankie about, I think double-double should be the goal next year. I think she's got all the skills, and tonight she's sitting at 2 points. And I think with her advantage and skill, she's got to up that production for the Bobcats to take that next step.
44-26, our current count. Even though the Hawks lost a lot from last season, they're still a very good girls basketball team at the 4A level.
Yes. Well, and I think they very much have an identity. The names are different. A lot of the last names are the same, Birding, Falls, Latham, but they have an identity. They all play the same. Every single year we see them, it's the same press, same offensive side. And I think that just makes it easier to replicate success.
As soon as Bowie turns around, Brogan Evans fouls for 2nd. Team 2nd here in the 4th quarter. Jansen wide open, but Bowie can't get her over Falls as she knocks it away. Bowie hitting the deck. She'll get helped up by Falls. Bowie picking up her 2nd.
And that's one where it happens quite a bit on this press, is where our ball handlers will kind of laissez-faire turn into the defender, and they get themselves trapped.
Jumper can't go. Jansen loses the rebound, though. It'll stay with the Hawks.
And this is not a game of moral victories. Bobcats need to turn this stuff into victories. But there have been a lot of nights against Mason City where this is 44 points was done in the first half, and we didn't get anywhere near 26.
That's true.
For the game.
Yeah, for sure.
And really outside of the second half at Roosevelt, I thought the first 12 minutes of that game was probably one of the best efforts that I'd seen from the Bobcat girls all year. And there's been moments, we saw that in those back-to-back buckets on the offensive end, where you see this life, you see these glimpses of it.
Falls checking out as she picked up her 4th foul of the night.
Yep.
And a travel, little shuffle of the feet by Hildebrand.
She switched up the pivot feet and was hoping they didn't notice.
Good pressure by Hildebrand and almost forcing a turnover. Timeout, though, before the turnover taken by Mason City. 5:18, 4th quarter on KFJB-TV. (44-26), 5:18 left to go in the Roundhouse on George Funk Court. Marshalltown Bobcats will be on the defensive end out of a Mason City timeout as head coach Trask in her first year leading this Mason City squad. Not a stranger to the program. Nick Trask is the boys' head coach. Birding gives it up. Jumper by Trask, no good. Decisive rebound by Hildebrand. Up to Georgia Jansen looking back door, but that's a long pass. The Bobcats somehow get it back. .15 on the shot clock. Heitman loses it, gets tied up. Possession arrows back with Mason City.
And you just see it's a little thing. If you're going to throw that back door, you've got to throw it high because you have the length advantage on the top side. But if you're trying to do a chest pass right to the hip, it's not going to work that far across court. And then it just doesn't seem we are catching the ball cleanly whatsoever.
It seemed like that whole possession, the ball was just bouncing around everywhere. Yep. Well, contagious.
Then you look on offensive end is Mason City loves to run everything, get a post up at the free throw line, and everything runs off of that. And then they always tend to have good shooters.
Feed inside. Bowie's going to get it back for the Bobcats. So she gets tied up down low with Braun.
And you'll see this press continues to go. And Mason City's one of the interesting ones. They will pressure full court on a make or a miss.
Bowie up the near side, into the corner, picks up her dribble, drops it in for long, and rolls off. Almost got the rebound, now a tie-up. Possession arrow back with the Riverhawks. We're on pace for a record jump balls here tonight, Dylan.
3 in a row, it's a hat trick of jump balls. But what I love is that was a great post. And if Frankie can get more consistent with just that turnaround left-handed hook, turnaround right-handed hook, there are not many people that can block that shot. I love the aggressiveness of just going and posting up there.
How many times you think you posted up in your day? About 4 or 5?
I used to post up more often than you'd think.
Really?
What
was the thinking there?
I had a ton of moves. I had really good footwork, and it's all scoop shots. I had an old man game.
That's kind of like saying runs well for a catcher. Yeah, your 5'5" guard has some great moves inside.
No, I scored quite a bit on the block. I'm not going to lie to you.
Okay.
It was a lot.
Well, you're a former pastor, so I hope you would not lie to me, Dylan.
And no, I wouldn't. I had a lot of scoop shots. I had a lot of tricks. I wasn't just going in. I wasn't dominating above the rim, but I could score.
Wait, were you on the Globetrotters for a minute?
When you're 5'7", you try anything that gets the ball up off the glass.
Timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. 3:11 to go in the girls' game on KFJB-TV.
Sportsmanship starts with us.
As a student athlete, I need to model good behavior and represent my school appropriately.
That means respecting my teammates, coaches, opponents, the officials, and fans.
If I do that, so will others, and being a good sport becomes a way of life.
To all of Iowa's student athletes getting ready to compete, remember, sportsmanship starts with us.
Boys game coming up in just a little bit. Bobcat boys are 3-9, looking to stop a 5-game slide. Mason City off to one of their best starts as of recent. They're 3-1 in conference play. But we're locked in the girls game right now. Hawks leading 44-26. They have the edge in history, especially recently, a long run of wins against the Bobcats. But you brought up an excellent point. I mean, this is typically a game we would see a running clock in the second half. And to see just the more of the challenge by the Bobcat ladies, it's definitely been fun to see. This has been one of the more competitive seasons as of recent.
Yeah, it just comes down to offensive proficiency for the Bobcats, just not there right now.
Air ball right there by Mason City. Did touch the glass, but did not draw iron. As Ellie Hughes hauled in the rebound for the Cats. Working into the front court, a little give and go to Bowie. Gets trapped underneath the bucket, and Falls is going to knock it out of her hands. And it will stay with the Bobcats. 20 seconds on the shot clock.
I think one sign of hope is Morgan Hildebrand's the most complete offensive player as a freshman that the Bobcats have had since we've covered.
Yeah, 5 seconds right there on the inbound. Bowie holding on to it. There's nobody open, and turnover down 44-26.
I feel like right now Millie offensively is the one that can get to wherever she wants to go. She can shoot it. She can take it to the hole, but she's a bit reluctant scorer. I think Morgan is just a straight-up shooter. It right now is the most fully formed scorer we have on the perimeter.
Good defender for a freshman, too.
Yeah.
For the most part, she's done a nice job on that end. Hughes, the senior, hauling in another rebound.
Morgan's going to be one that really, I think she and Frankie are going to be, and Millie, are probably the ones going to be most affected by Amara Johnson, because I know Morgan and Millie are both playing a lot of point guard. I don't think it's their primary position for either of them, though Millie's a very good playmaker. I think Morgan's going to be more effective with the ball out of her hands and being able to spot up and shoot.
Bobcats are off for the next week as they will be in action on Monday night against Grinnell. But this is their only game this week, and some rumblings that Amara Johnson could be back within the next week or so.
Hot dang.
Rumblings.
I've not heard the rumblings.
Rumblings, no confirmation.
Is she going to play in those UGG slip-ons that she loves so much?
I don't think that would be wise coming off the injury.
Yeah, they're not sponsored by a lot of Achilles tears. And those that miss right at the rim, we've had a handful of those tonight. This game could be single digits if just some of those would go in for us.
Another jump ball as Bowie forces it, but it will stay with Mason City. But no, they call her out.
They call it timeout.
Called timeout. So Mason City will call the timeout before the jump ball. Just 97 seconds still remaining in this one.
Quick math, it's what broadcasting is all about.
It truly is.
Yeah, so Amara Johnson has not been in a brace. She had that full leg brace on before Christmas. Haven't seen that in. So if
now look at that. She's got the Uggs right there in the middle. Sydney Capeyu in the New York. Concrete jungle, Dylan.
I do love the hip-hop references. I'm a big fan.
You're welcome.
Big fan. And either Coach Murphy is coaching right now or he is showing them a halftime dance number he's going to do.
Get the cardboard box out. He's
right.
doing some break dancing.
He's been inspired by the New York hoodie.
Or the Olympics.
Yeah, no one was inspired by breaking at the Olympics.
That was the joke, Dylan.
You know, jokes are always funnier when you explain them. Really like the fight, though, from the Cats. Continue to play hard, and this is really an undermanned team right now with the injuries.
Jansen almost a breakaway. She gets it back. No foul called. Wow, that's surprising. I thought we would have seen a breakaway foul being called.
They called a shot clock violation. I swore that was a change of possession.
I thought so, too.
But it should have been a trip, so as long as we end up with the basketball, it doesn't really matter.
Suppose so.
There you see it in the roundabout there. She took a dribble. That's close.
It's getting late, Dylan. People probably have dinner reservations.
That's right. Not a lot late in Mason City or Marshalltown for those reservations.
If it's past 9 in Marshalltown, you're kind of out of luck.
You got the Hardys and maybe a Taco John's.
Heitman inside, gets fouled. She's headed the line for 2. Don't let it be a Monday. I'll just say that.
I will say up in Mason City, I always like a late night dinner at the Tremont, too. I'm game for that.
Mason City does have Chipotle, but you got to drive 5 hours to get to it.
We went to the Poncheros in
Altoona.
We went
on
there,
Friday.
But we've also been to the Poncheros.
Did I say
in
Chipotle?
Mason City. You did.
Oh, I meant Poncheros.
But there is also a nice restaurant down at the Frank Lloyd Wright Hotel down there.
Oh, beautiful downtown. I like Mason City's downtown.
Got a great men's clothing store down there.
They've got a
right
brewery, I believe. I think the brewery's still open there, isn't it?
I think so, and they've got my nieces there.
Must be 21 to drink alcohol, Dylan, by the way.
That's right.
Disclaimer, we're only on TV tonight.
It's YouTube. Things are just getting crazy. There's no Brooks to censor us back at the station.
Well, you got to tie your shoes sometimes, Dylan. You double knot that next time, Georgia. Or if you're like Dylan, you wear the slip-ons these days.
I'm wearing shoelaces. Come on, man.
Those are faux shoelaces, like your ties.
I wear real ties.
3 knocks it down as it rattles home for Hildebrand. 44-29, 15-point game. Jansen almost coming up with a steal, and they say it's off Mason City. Wow.
Morgan is a knockdown shooter. And, you know, these late-minute things, are we going to win? No, but opportunity, they matter a ton.
I mean, again, like we mentioned, it's been blowout city in the past. Hildebrand fouled. She'll have an opportunity for a couple here. Man, you get this down around 13 points difference, you're feeling pretty good about the positive momentum year over year out of this squad.
Well, and going into the Mason City game, Coach Murphy was like, we're a much better team. I know we're a better team, but it just didn't translate on the scoreboard. It's one of those things.
We got to get to 30 here. Come on, Dylan.
Definitely. 30 would be, I would be pro 30.
We are pro 30. 44-30, our count, with just 6 seconds to go.
I'm north of 30.
That is true. That went off the mark. It's a 14-point loss for the Bobcats as Mason City improves to 10-4. Bobcats drop to 5-9. But definitely a great performance here tonight, especially in the second half, to continue the battle against a good Riverhawks squad.
Morgan made 3 threes. Thought that was really important. But a couple of things that I really enjoyed was the play she made off the bounce, got to the free throw line, cross-court pass for Kinsley Bowie for 3. I thought she just played really well.
Coming up, our Cat Connection presented by State Farm and our pregame chat with head coach Mike Apple. This is Bobcat Basketball. You're watching KFJB-TV.
Legends American Grill is the perfect place to watch your favorite team. Enjoy wings, nachos, steaks, and prime rib available on Friday and Saturday nights. It's game on for great food and your favorite drink to wash it down. You like burgers? Legends has fantastic, unique burger creations like this. The Legends Burger. Absolutely delicious. Gather with friends, enjoy your favorite team's games with the NFL Sunday Ticket, and make some memories. Legends American Grill in Marshalltown and our new Newton location, where the game is always on.
Marshalltown Community School District announces that preschool sign-up begins February 3rd for children who will be 4 on or before September 15th. Sign up early as spaces do fill up. Marshalltown's preschool program ensures every child has access to high-quality early education in a welcoming and supportive environment. The preschool program is tuition-free with no fees to sign up. Contact the preschool coordinator at 641-754-1000 for more information. You'll need proof of your child's age, address, and immunization records in order to sign up.
The Cat Connection, sponsored by State Farm, mtownproud.com.
It is our Cat Connection with Georgia Jansen, junior for the Marshalltown girls basketball team. Georgia, year over year, your stats are up from a year ago. You know, you were averaging about 3 points per game. Now you're up near 5. So tell me a little bit about your game, how you feel like you've kind of improved from a year ago.
Well, I think this summer definitely helped me get a lot more confident. And then having like Kinsley and Sydney hurt, I've been having to dribble the ball a lot more. Mm-hmm. And so then I've just kind of been more confident and go to the rim more.
Yeah, and sometimes you're kind of forced into those situations like you're talking about. So does that kind of get you out of your comfort zone and make you kind of, challenge yourself a little bit more?
Yeah, it's not my favorite thing, but I'm definitely getting more comfortable with it. Still a bit bad in some cases, but it's getting better.
Yeah, and you and others on the team, like I point to Millie Heitman because you two are so close, but both of you have been playing from your freshman year and now to your junior year. So what would you tell yourself as your freshman self now that you're a junior that you kind of learn looking back? What would you kind of tell yourself early on?
Maybe that I'm going to get a lot more skills, I guess, and that like the game is going to be maybe more fun because freshman year coming into it is really scary and fast. And so, I mean, it was still fun, but it's better.
That is for sure. All right. So what's the better feeling when you, maybe make a nice stop on the soccer pitch or score a goal or you knock down a 3?
Probably knocking down a 3.
Okay. All right. That's a good feeling. All right, Georgia, I know you're involved in quite a bit. As far as extracurricular activities or things in school, what are you involved in?
Well, I was in band, but not anymore. Okay. And then I'm in, I guess there's the Interact Club, which is like silver cord stuff, and then STEP, which we get like grants, and so we give that back to the community.
Oh, wow.
And then obviously sports, so cross country and basketball and soccer, and maybe something else.
Okay. All right. Oh, maybe a little surprise there. All right, so I got to know about the grant thing. Are you doing grant writing then?
We will be, I'm pretty sure.
Wow. All right. That can be pretty intense. You got to know your stuff for doing that. Last question for you. Obviously, this year you guys about one win away from tying the win total. We've talked about you playing since your freshman year, but this is a core that seems pretty tight-knit. We sang you happy birthday at Bobcat Live, all that kind of stuff. How fun is it to see the growth side of things, that, getting the more victories and seeing everybody kind of have more success out there on the floor?
I'd say it's a lot of fun. Like, normally to me, if we're not going to win a lot, it's not that big of a deal. Like, we'll still have fun, but if we win more, then it's more fun.
That is for sure. And that's the one thing we know about you. You definitely like to have fun. Best of luck rest of the season.
Thank you.
All right. That is Georgia Jansen with our Cat Connection. All brought to you by Tyler Peschong Agency, State Farm, mtownproud.com.
At Tyler Peschong State Farm, we are M-Town proud.
For us, M-Town proud is about having absolute pride in the place that we live and work. The people in this community represent everything that I believe in and everything I want to instill in my children.
Hardworking.
Diverse. Genuine.
kind, and passionate.
A blue-collar town that has shown countless times we can depend on each other.
We'd love to talk to you about what makes you
M-Town proud.
Welcome back into the countdown to tip-off. It is the Riverhawks and the Bobcats here tonight as we welcome in head coach Mike Apple. Coach, you get ready for tonight. Looking to have a little revenge here tonight in a game where it was snowy night. Now you get a really cold, extreme night. But regardless of that, your team struggled in that one right out of the gate against Mason City. Obviously, you split with them last year. You got them once on the road. But how do you kind of reverse that here tonight after your previous matchup?
Yeah, hopefully we're just more ready to play than the last time we played them. We got off to a really bad start, slow start. So had some bad possessions where we turned it over too easily, and they got easy baskets. And then the offensive rebounding really hurt us to start that game. So we just overall just got to be ready, be more prepared to play, be excited, play with energy, like these past couple games that we've played, and good things will happen for us.
Yeah, maybe the results win-wise haven't been there 0-3 last week, but definitely Tuesday and Friday, really exceptional effort in some games. You had the lead on Friday. We talked a little bit about that one after it was gone and done with, but just, some of their talent level. So as you kind of look down the line here as far as your team goes, as far as continuing to battle and challenge, what do you really specifically need to see out of your team to be able to challenge those teams again as you move forward?
Well, we got to take care of the ball. There's been times where we've been really good during games, and then there's just these 3-4 minute lulls where we'll have 4 or 5 turnovers in a row where we just can't really break what they're doing to us, whether it's just ball pressure or they're trapping or whatever it may be, where they're getting easy baskets and they kind of the game gets away from us a little bit. So just overall taking care of the ball against a team like Mason City, we have to block out and limit their second chance points. That's an area they're really, really strong on is offensive rebounds, and we got to make sure we not allow easy points in the paint. I thought we did a really good job against Roosevelt, kind of limited their drives, limited their points in the paint, and we got to do a good job against Mason City against that.
Andrew Novak still having a breakout year after hardly doing a whole lot last year. He's averaging a double-double right now. And then Ty Sanchez-Evans down low can be a problem as well. So defensively, how sound will you have to be inside the paint?
Yeah, we got to do a good job. And we got to make sure, number one, we make it hard for them to get the ball in there. And they can do that in a couple different ways by applying pressure on the guards, making it hard for them to throw it in there, and then doing a good job of fronting them, and then sending guys to go double, certain guys that we need to go double off of. We are starting smaller tonight, so we got to be prepared and understand kind of what we want to do against them. We're throwing a few different things at them defensively that should help us. Just to keep them off kilter a little bit and help our guys be in positions defensively.
When you go smaller, you usually start Jamison Niehaus, and he's been a difference maker at times. He played a pretty good game on Friday night, but when you go small, what's your main objective or goal in that matchup?
Well, it's just kind of what we feel is our best lineup. It's not necessarily big or small. It's just kind of what we've seen from production-wise. What's been best for us, and our guys are getting used to just how to play out of that and what we need to do. And there's times where you're asking Jacob or even Jamison to kind of guard some bigger guys, but that helps us offensively too. We just have a little more flow if that happens, and it's harder for teams sometimes to guard us if they have some bigger guys out there as well, like Mason City. So we got to capitalize on that and kind of find those mismatches when we can. Not settle all the time for shots and drive around some of those guys when we can and get to the rim.
These two teams obviously meet twice a year. So what's it like the second time around when you face an opponent in the Iowa Lions Conference? Does that change your prep or how you plan for a game?
Yeah. I mean, we got 38 different clips I showed them of our game first time we played them. And it wasn't necessarily a lot of good things. Obviously, it was a lot of things we need to correct and do a better job of. And it doesn't take necessarily 38 clips, but it was a meaningful impact on this is what we needed to improve on, guys, in order for us to win. And showing them those things and showing them that film, film doesn't lie. And there was times where just we could tell we were not ready to play that game, just some uncharacteristic things of how we played and how hard we played. And we're just much better than how we were there, and hopefully we can show that tonight.
Good luck tonight.
Yep, thank you.
All right, that is head coach Mike Apple as the Bobcats look for revenge against the Riverhawks tonight. We'll check out the lineups for both squads when we come back on the Countdown to Tip-Off on KFJB-TV.
Some say life is like a road trip. Is it a coincidence Scooter's Coffee is a drive-thru? We don't think so. Whether you need a coffee while you enjoy the view, to just get you through the long stretch, or to refuel between stops, Scooter's Coffee is there, brewing up delicious coffee, espresso blenders, smoothies, iced drinks, and more, with the convenience of a drive-thru so you can stay on the road and enjoy the ride. So go ahead, scoot on around. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooters in Marshalltown.
You're an empty nester closing in on that retirement property. Chances are your plans didn't include mom moving in, but life happens and you do the right thing. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement means caring for yourself and a loved one, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by the Marshalltown School District. Embrace the lead. Scooters of Marshalltown. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. And State Farm. mtownproud.com.
Tip-off just moments away from now as the Riverhawks getting ready to go against your Marshalltown Bobcats. Let's get to tonight's starting lineups, all brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown. Let them deliver for you while we deliver the starting lineups. Head coach Nick Trask, it is 11th year. Last year, this team averaged 65 points per game, giving up on the defensive end. They're all the way down 11 points per game, giving up at 54 per game this year. They made definite big strides on that side of the ball. Getting the start tonight, number 1, Drew Hobart, averaging 4 points per game. The 5'11 junior had 0 points and 3 rebounds. No shot attempts in the matchup back in December between these two teams. Number 2, Jameer Falls, a 5'10 sophomore, 10 points, 3 assists, 2 steals against the Cats earlier this year. Number 3, Marcel Whitner, averaging 13 points per game, 6.5 rebounds per game, 43% from behind the three-point arc, a 6'4 junior guard. Having a breakout year, number 11, Andrew Novak, averaging a double-double, 10 a game on each side of things. 6'5 senior forward. He had 9 points, 8 rebounds in the previous meeting against the Bobcats back in December. And number 45, Ty Sanchez Evans, rounds out the 5 for the Riverhawks. 13 points per game, 8 rebounds for the 6'3 junior, whose numbers are up from a year ago in his sophomore campaign. That's the starting lineup for the Riverhawks, who are 6-4, 3-1 in the Iowa Alliance North. Meanwhile, for Mike Apple in his 7th year for the Marshalltown Bobcats, they'll go, like Coach mentioned, a little bit of a smaller lineup here tonight. It's Jamison Niehaus. He's in the lineup, 3 points per game, 3 rebounds per game, a sophomore at 6 foot. Number 3, Drake Gersma, 10 points per game, 3.5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, a 6-foot sophomore. He had a nice game against Mason City back in December, 13 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals. Number 10, Kyle Smith, 20 points per game, 6.5 rebounds right now, a 6'4 junior. He had a slump against Mason City, 1 of 9 from three-point land. He had just 6 points and 3 rebounds. Number 24, Lamar Johnson gets a start, 6-foot senior, 7 points per game, 4 rebounds. And number 30, Jacob Hayes, the 6'2 junior. He had 10 points, 2 rebounds against Mason City, as the guard will get the go here tonight. He was our player of the game on Friday against Roosevelt with 10 points. That's our starting lineups. Again, all brought to you by Sandvik Enterprises in Marshalltown. Coming up, it is tip-off between the Riverhawks and the Bobcats right here on a Super Tuesday on KFJB-TV.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social for date night, family fun, or the company party with plenty of space for everyone. Visit Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to start planning your group outing at Wayward Social, the place for fun.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
Jacob Hayes. No good. Lamar Johnson, no rebound. Takes down left wing three. Splash.
That kid's going to be a good one.
Super Tuesday in the Iowa Lions Conference. Brandon Lewis, Dylan Doze alongside me tonight. Starting lineups for the Bobcats on George Funk Court taking place. Let's take a listen in. Well, definitely a ruckus crowd inside the Roundhouse on a chilly night. Let's get our keys to the game, all brought to you today by First Rate Real Estate, FirstRateTeam.com. Dylan?
For the Bobcats, it's number 3. First number 3 is Drake Gersma. He's been slow offensively getting off the blocks. I think he needs to start and assert himself offensively from the get-go. And then it's also just the 3 ball. Kyle Smith has shot it very well from home. Can other people get involved there? And then finally, number 3 for the Riverhawks. When you have Marcel Whitner, he can be a disruptor. Bobcats have to limit him. On the flip side, you get Big Bad and Ballin. That's Mason City Riverhawks. 6'5" Novak, 6'3" Ty Sanchez-Evans has dominated the Bobcats, and they doubled up in rebounding, 32-16 over that Bobcat team. Bobcats have to be able to get them off the glass.
Novak and Johnson go at it for the opening tip, and it will be with the Bobcats as it goes out of bounds right in front of the student section. And Dylan's wearing his sweatpants just like the student section here tonight.
I'm wearing a pair of nice khakis.
And I like your hat tonight too, by the way. You're looking good. Down low, Lamar off the rack for 2.
And they love running that play, first play on an offensive set. They scored against North right away on it. They scored against Roosevelt right away on it.
Sometimes, though, they go away from it too much. That's prompted usually by Lamar Johnson getting in a little bit of foul trouble. Ty Sanchez-Evans with the rebound off the 3 miss. Putback is no good. Kyle Smith with the outlet, and now to Gersma as he brings it over the Cat logo at midcourt.
And we talked about this on Friday, but Bobcats have averaged just over 7 points in the first quarter since Christmas.
And boom, right away, straight on, it's Kyle Smith for 3. 5-0 Cats.
That ball just looks different off his hands here in the roundhouse.
Now turnovers, Kyle Smith comes up with it. Gersma will trot across the timeline into the front court, swings it to Niehaus. Down the perimeter to Gersma. Back to Kyle Smith off a screen. And that one won't draw iron. Jameer Falls comes away with it.
That came out really flat out of his hands. You won't see him miss worse than that.
Inside to Sanchez Evans. Niehaus pokes it away. It'll stay with the Riverhawks on the baseline left side. Let's take a look at that replay. Lamar Johnson opened up the game with a beautiful post-up.
A nice cross pick from Kyle Smith where he basically picked 2 defenders for a wide-open Lamar Johnson.
Inside they'll go, and Marcel Whitner with the leaner. He's good.
And that's just 6'4". He takes the guard on it. He's got the long arms that you can't block him.
Bobcats in their all-whites here tonight. Riverhawks all red uniforms. A post-up, Gersma. That one just misses the front of the iron. Novak with the rebound.
And that's one where we talked a lot about him being the lineage of point guards. That's where Armani Thomas was great off the block. That's a place that Drake can continue to grow.
Whitner, skip pass. Hobart open. Can't knock down the 3, but Sanchez Evans gets over top of Niehaus for the offensive rebound.
That's his second offensive rebound here tonight.
Sanchez Evans will work down to the left block as they dribble out on the right wing. Hobart left open, but don't go for Novak, but Gersma is right there in the path. He's going to push the issue, but from behind, Jameer Falls knocks it away. It'll stay with the Cats.
The Bobcats are 0-5 in their last 5, but I think both of us would agree they are playing actually much better than they did before Christmas. It's come down to execution late in ball games where they faltered.
Hayes fakes the 3. Now Kyle Smith at the top gets a screen from Niehaus. Doesn't do anything with it. Turn around at the right high post. Goes just off the front of the rack. Poked out of bounds by Niehaus. It'll be Riverhawk basketball.
And that's really been Kyle's go-to move off the bounce. Is if he can't get you all the way on his hip, he's just going to do a drop step fadeaway and just off the front of the iron.
3 minutes gone in this opening quarter. All Cats early on as a runner down the left block. Drayden Witt has it roll out. Bobcats leading by 3. Gersma checking out the play call from head coach Mike Apple. Lamar Johnson, left wing, looking for somebody cutting. Finds Niehaus. Kyle Smith coming off a screen at the top. Didn't open up. Witt guarding on him, all up in his grill. Trying to find some space and a travel, as they say. He drug his pivot foot. Turnover, Kyle Smith with 4:20 to go in the opening quarter.
And that's where you want Kyle just to shovel that back to Lamar and maybe just go get it right back. But reestablish your ability because he did a great job. Witt did a great job of cutting him off on multiple attempts.
Halfway through the first quarter, Sanchez Evans out to the left wing. Witt drives in. Leaner is good. Witt involved in the scoring column for the first time here tonight. He had 10 points, 2 steals against the Bobcats back in December 19th.
And I feel like he's like a 12th year senior. It feels like he's been there for a long time.
He's still just a junior, Dylan.
Well, he's been there for a long time.
3 years to be exact.
Well, we don't know what kind of student he is. Maybe it is 12 years.
Kyle Smith tries for his second 3. Lamar Johnson gets the rebound, put back off the mark, and Novak hauls in another rebound.
Just get it up. We are averse to using the glass, which makes no sense to me.
Tyson Jazz Evans with a big body move down low, but can't get it to go. Gersma looking for something. Gets it back from Hayes. Now Kyle Smith was left open, drives to the free throw line. Jumper is good.
he's become a really efficient shooter off the bounce, and I really love it that if it's not do or die by the three, he can, if he's run off the line, just easy couple dribbles, pulls up, and it's smooth.
Ty Sanchez-Evans with a decent move, but finishes too strong off the glass, and the Bobcats with an easy rebound, leading 7-4.
Niehaus has done a great job on him, using his strong lower third of his body to keep Ty Sanchez-Evans away from where he wants to be.
Some motion here for the Bobcats as Niehaus crosses over on Sanchez-Evans, drives past. Thought he might have a chance to make that. He cannot, but he draws the foul on Sanchez-Evans, and Niehaus is going to line for 2 free throws.
We saw him take it off the bounce twice in that third quarter against Roosevelt when Marshalltown was doing nothing offensively, and Jamison kept him in the ball game.
Can't knock this free throw down. Zane Moore's off the bench to check in for the Cats. Drew Hobart, as well as Owen Rickers, back into the contest for Mason City. And the second free throw, no good for Niehaus. He had 4 points on Friday against Roosevelt in that 52-39 loss. Final score looks a little more lopsided than that game really was, as the Bobcats had a 21-19 lead at halftime. A miss on the left wing, but Novak gets the rebound. The putback, he draws the foul. Bucket goes for 2. The and 1 coming for Novak.
And Jacob's got to work just so hard. When you're giving up 3 inches at least, you've got to work so hard to make sure you've got him rooted way out.
Novak gets the friendly roll here on the road for the 3-point play, and we're tied at 7. Niehaus, right wing, skip pass to Hayes. Now back to Kyle Smith, left open, splash! That one will go, his second of the night for Kyle Smith. 8 here in the opening quarter of play.
For scoring 20 a game, teams leave him open a lot. And of course, it's great actions on the offensive sets that get him open.
Hobart tries his luck, can't get that one to go from the far side corner. Hobart did not have a shot attempt against the Bobcats in their last meeting. More involved here tonight offensively. Bobcats almost lose it as Gersma got it back inside to Niehaus. He has it popped out from behind. There goes Jameer Falls up the near side. Stops right in front of the scores table. Now into the front court.
Jameer had a good game here last year, a little bit surprisingly. Now he plays more, had a good game up in Mason City as well.
The drive down to the right block is no good by Owen Rickers. Mason City loses it for a second. Bobcats had it. Zane Moore will end up losing it on the baseline, and it will stay with the Riverhawks. 48 seconds to go in the opening quarter of play. Bobcats with a 3-point lead as Lamar Johnson checks back into the contest, replacing Niehaus. And a turnover on the inbound. A little hot to handle for Whitner. Here goes Gersma. Leaves it for Kyle Smith, who drives all the way in. Floater off the back of the iron. No good. Novak gets the basketball up court. Jameer Falls will bring it up into the front courts. Hobart, a crossover, drives, leaves it off, and Lamar Johnson slaps it away. Novak tries his luck on the right wing 3. Skims off the iron as Kyle Smith hauls in the rebound, and the final shot of the first quarter will remain with the Bobcats, who look to extend their 3-point lead.
Bobcats have been lucky, giving up 5 offensive rebounds, only 1 bucket in second chance points.
7 seconds to go. Hayes, left wing, catches it. Turnaround jumper 3 off the back of the iron, no good. And that's how we head to the second quarter. Cats have a 3-point lead against the Riverhawks on KFJB-TV.
YMCC, competitive athletics, affordable tuition, on-campus living, online courses plus 2 campus locations, unique programs, career training, small classes, short-term hands-on training. Choose MCC.
Well, a Super Tuesday looking to be good for the Bobcats. They lost 64-42 to this Mason City squad back on December 19th. Looking to turn the tide. Marshalltown does lead the all-time series since 2007, 21-15. And so back here at George Funk Court as we begin the second quarter, 8 minutes on the clock. Kyle Smith with a couple of big threes, including this one right here, as he has 8 points heading to the second.
Yeah, and that's where if you're going to move on a topside zone or you're going to try to trap, you just go right to the extended elbow there.
Sanchez Evans inside the leader, can't get it to go off the left side. He's been off the mark all night. As no points here tonight for Sanchez Evans, playing with 1 foul. Hayes at the free throw line, can't catch that one. Whitner comes up with it. Witt, a drive, going nowhere down the left block as Jameer Falls checks out the shot clock. Still 20. Hobart looking inside. They're going to post up Sanchez Evans, but Lamar Johnson tips it away.
Lamar Johnson and Jamison Niehaus have done a tremendous job against Ty Sanchez Evans. They have not allowed anything to be easy, and you can tell he's kind of rushing it a little bit when he gets it inside, trying to just straight up bully ball.
Hobart, far side corner. Drive, good move, and floats it up for 2 from about 5 foot out in front of the bucket. And Hobart's first bucket against the Bobcats this year. Kyle Smith feeds it back to Gersma, now around the perimeter to Hayes. Getting caught up and throws it away.
Jacobs had a tough night decision-making with the ball in his hands.
Big man left wide open. 3 is no good. Hobart, though, goes for the rebound. And I believe in that process fouled Lamar Johnson. And actually, they're going to say it was Marcel Whitner, who was also in the area. He's the man who picks up the foul, his first of the night. So 10-9, Bobcats leading by 1. Get the basketball back, as it looks like Lamar Johnson still kind of feeling that one a little bit as he's touching his left eyebrow.
He got thwacked right above that eyebrow, right in the middle of the forehead.
Cross-court pass. They find Kyle Smith open, and he knocks his third 3 of the night down. 11 for Kyle Smith.
A zone does not work if you don't recognize where you need to get out to a shooter. They're sucked in way too close into the lane on that far side, allowing Kyle to have a wide-open look.
Novak with his size drives in, kicks to the top to Falls. 3 is off the right side. Kyle Smith hauls in the rebound. At this pace, Kyle's going to have a double-double tonight. He's actively involved on the rebounding side.
Bobcats have done a much better job defensively of offering help, cutting off baseline than they have at many points this year.
Free throw line, jumper, turn around, and Jacob Hayes, his first bucket of the night, is pure from straight on, and it's a quick 5-0 run to begin the second quarter for the Bobcats.
And that was all about making a quick decision, not waiting, not holding on to the basketball. Turn and go.
Novak at the top. Johnson steps out, stops his dribble. Boy, good cutoff by Lamar Johnson again. He gets in the way of Jameer Falls trying to score. Can't get that one to go. 6-point game. Niehaus running the baseline, gets the basketball. Back to Kyle Smith, who follows suit off the front of the iron. Owen Rickers with the rebound. Falls crossover. Couldn't do anything with it. Kicks out to Hobart. He turns around, fires it up off the right side. Novak gets tied up with Niehaus. Possession arrow with the Bobcats, but they're going to call a hold. And so that one going to come in on Jacob Hayes, who's also there with Niehaus. Hayes quickly picking up his second. And it looks like he will check out of the ball game. Zane Moore is in to replace him. Wow. Inbound to Novak. Scores the bucket and his second and one of the night. That's why he used that big frame of his at 6'5" and a senior. Last year he averaged just shy of 2 points per game and 1 rebound. This year he's at 10 and 10, averaging a double-double. The and one is up, and this one is pure. Novak was 6. And he was injured at times last year, but he didn't miss too many games. But still, this is a huge breakout year for Novak.
And you just wonder how much better did he get over the summer, because last year, looking at this team, there didn't seem to be a big centerpiece that would be blocking or impeding him playing, but he's just really grown to be a good scorer. I'll be interested if the Bobcats look to defend that entry pass differently.
Lamar Johnson way up high, hands off to Niehaus. Kyle Smith buying a little bit of room, drives in, gets it back to Niehaus. Back to Kyle Smith. Fade away at the free throw line, rattles home for Kyle Smith, 13.
And that's exactly what we talked about earlier when he ended up traveling and turning it over. Just pass it out to reset yourself. There he was able to do that, reset himself, get the ball, and go and score.
Novak will post up. Zane Moore gets pushed around. Lamar Johnson there for help, but it hangs on to the left side of the iron and goes in for Novak, who has 8 here in the first half. 17-14. And by the way, Kyle Smith, in the first matchup, he was just 1 of 9 from three-point territory, but he really struggled out of the gate this season, but he's really started to get things going after the Christmas break. And a foul's going to be way out high. First one of the night on Jameer Falls.
I think there was a couple things. One, almost every game was on the road because that first game he got going.
Just like February will be, by the way.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah.
The second thing is he was just starting to become, this is what it means to be the man at every level. And he just kind of struggled with that transition.
Has definitely grown into it, though. Kyle Smith knew there was a mismatch. Ty Sanchez-Evans was guarding him late. Can't knock it down. Mason City comes up with the rebound. Here goes Whitner inside. Lamar Johnson rips it away, and he hits the deck. Gathers the basketball back in, and a timeout called by head coach Mike Apple. Bobcats will have the basketball when we come back. 3:05 to go before halftime on KFJB-TV.
Hey Bobcat Nation, this is Adam Boone. You're watching Bobcat Basketball on KFJB-TV.
Coming up at halftime, all brought to you by Scouting America Mid-Iowa Council. We'll have our first half stats. We'll also talk to Brian Murphy, head girls basketball coach, about their loss here tonight earlier against Mason City. But great effort out of the girls game here tonight, Dylan.
I thought they played at points really well on the offensive end. Defensively, they were good all night long.
17-14. Kyle Smith forces a free throw line jumper. He's fouled. Shot can't go as it pops off the front, and he's headed to the line for 2 free throws. On the season, Kyle Smith, a 79% free throw shooter this year, coming off a night where he had 15 against Roosevelt on Friday.
And 13 of those were in the first half. Roosevelt's length and athleticism in that second half was a difference maker.
Kyle Smith touches all sides of the iron as he makes the first free throw.
They call it the shooter's touch for a reason.
Second free throws off the back of the iron. No good for Kyle Smith. Splits him. It's a 4-point game now. 3 from the far side corner is no good. Whitner off the mark.
Outside of Novak, Bobcats have done a great job on Sanchez-Evans and Whitner.
Johnson will come out high. He looks to hand it off to Kyle Smith. It's batted away. Gets it back to Kyle Smith. Left wide open. Was going to step in. I believe he almost double dribbled, but did not. Ball away, and just inside the free throw mark, he cannot knock that one down as Whitner comes away with the rebound.
It looked like he should have just stepped into that wide open three.
Yeah. 3, stepping into it is Whitner again. He's off the mark. Approaching 90 seconds to go before half. Yep. And a travel. Zane Moore, passing lane, kind of got cut off, and he hesitated, and that'll be a turnover.
And one thing that they trust Zane a lot because he hustles, he does the right thing. His next step will be, because right now, him on the offensive end, he doesn't shoot, he doesn't do a whole lot, is where can he find
He's looking to hand off to Kyle Smith.
Yes, he is.
Hobart way off the mark. Novak saves it, gets it to Whitner. Another offensive rebound. And now a charge going to be called. Or no, they're going to call it on Gersma.
They say he shoved him.
Okay. Lamar Johnson will tie the shoes.
Yeah, Novak has given the Bobcats a lot of problems, as you might anticipate a talented 6'5" kid could.
Kyle Smith hauls in the rebound after Owen Rickers is off the mark. 31% three-point shooter this season. Gersma over the front, over the timeline into the front court. Hesitates. Now hands off to Niehaus, and Hobart slaps that one away. Hobart's really good football players.
Yes.
Basketball side, there's a lot of hustle.
And they're good athletes. They make
good
smart
athletes.
decisions.
That's true, 100%.
Football, they'll break your heart.
Our hearts have been broken many times on the gridiron. What was the other one? Cale? Was it Cale Hobart?
Cale, yeah.
He ran all over us. I think he had, 4 touchdowns in a 28-0 game?
Sure did. Did.
Yeah, that was
14 fouls on Mason City. Next one will be 2 shots for the Bobcats.
Gersma, hesitation behind the back. Now drives in. Nothing doing. Zane Moore swings. Niehaus drives. Ooh, he got Novak up in the air but couldn't do anything with it. I think Novak got a paw on that one.
Yeah, he was able to. He knew he messed up going up in the air but was able to get a hand on it.
Whitner tried for the fancy move. Can't get the shot to go. Zane Moore steals it away. Shot clock is off. And the Bobcats, leading by 4, can extend this right before the break. Good defensive possession right there for the Cats.
Hopefully they get a better shot than they did at the end of the first.
Niehaus has it left wing, looking around. Finds Kyle Smith. Gets it to Gersma. Now to Kyle Smith. Hesitates, drives, kick, and in and out at the buzzer. Just inside the three-point line in the near side quarter. Kyle Smith can't get that one to go. But it's a 4-point lead for the Cats at the break, 18-14. You're watching Bobcat basketball. This is KFJB-TV.
At Greg Young Automotive, we go the extra mile for our customers across Iowa. Why do customers choose us and keep coming back? Because our commitment to exceptional service and satisfaction never wavers. With our extensive network of dealerships throughout Iowa, we leverage unbeatable pricing and offer a better inventory selection than other dealerships. Visit any of our 6 locations across the state and experience the Greg Young difference, where we'll go the extra mile for you.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
The Halftime Report, presented by Scouting America. Adventure on.
Well, at the break, the Bobcats' leading scorer is Kyle Smith, 14, and the Bobcats 18 here tonight. Lamar Johnson, Jacob Hayes with just 2 apiece. In that first half, it's been the big man, Andrew Novak, causing some trouble as Novak, the 6'5 senior, 8 points in that first half. 2 for Drayden Witt, Marcel Whitner with 2, and Drew Hobart with 2 points as well. Bobcats looking to break a 5-game losing streak. Meanwhile, Mason City looking to stay hot. They're 4-1 in their last 5 games. This is our halftime coverage, all brought to you by Scouting America Mid-Iowa Council. Adventure on, online at scoutingiowa.org. Dylan will be joined by head coach Brian Murphy when we come back to the Marshalltown Roundhouse right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
When my kids come home from camp, they're so excited. They go on and on about all the activities they got to do.
My son loves to go fishing,
Cooking, photography, kayaking,
zip line, archery,
robotics, camping, oceanography,
swimming,
and radio.
He's got so many fun stories that he would share that we just wouldn't have otherwise.
Being involved in scouting, my boys have made lifelong friendships.
I would recommend putting your kids in scouting. It's a great way for them to learn skills while having fun.
Marshalltown Community School District announces that preschool sign-up begins February 3rd for children who will be 4 on or before September 15th. Sign up early as spaces do fill up. Marshalltown's preschool program ensures every child has access to high-quality early education in a welcoming and supportive environment. The preschool program is tuition-free with no fees to sign up. Contact the preschool coordinator at 641-754-1000 for more information. You'll need proof of your child's age, address, and immunization records in order to sign up.
The Halftime Report, presented by Scouting America. Adventure on.
In with Bobcats head man, Coach Brian Murphy. Bobcats fall to a good Riverhawks team, 44-30, but there were some bright spots, I really thought, tonight. Routinely, Mason City has ran Marshalltown out of the gym. Tonight, Bobcats fought all 4 quarters.
Yep, absolutely, and we've been saying all season that when we keep teams in the half court, our defense is really stingy. We don't allow much. And when we stop turning the ball over and force them to play the half-court set, it was a totally different game.
And you look at really on that offensive side, when some things were going well, is freshman Morgan Hildebrand had 12 points, hit 3 3-pointers, along with a couple assists, including hitting Kinsley Bowie for a 3-point shot. What can you say about the maturation of Morgan?
Yeah, she is a scorer at heart. And, we have told her she has the ultimate green light where if she's got space, we want her looking to. And she was getting her shots off without hesitation tonight, which I thought was big. And to your point, she got some penetration into the paint, got her eyes up, kicked out. It's a small play, but for a freshman, it's so big to have those small moments that start stacking up. And that's that growth that we're kind of just, coaxing out of her game by game.
And for our viewers today, how important is it to get a paint touch instead of just passing it around the perimeter for a 3?
Yeah, we've been saying all season that if a defense is going to put pressure on you, you've got to respond and put the pressure back on them. Or if they're going to come out at you, you got to get on your hip or behind you and go collapse the defense and then kick out. And that's been the difference with a lot of our 3-point attempts in other games where they're still contested because we're not drawing the other defenders in. So tonight was a night where for the first time in a while we were consistently drawing people in and forcing them to scramble on the backside.
And you look at this, 44-30. You have a week to look at. What does the coaching staff? What are you guys going to take with this week? You're not playing a lot of people. Is it rest? Is it more film? Or is it just business as usual?
A little bit of everything. I feel like health is our constant. The more healthy, the more rest we can get is always good. And just continuing to work on offensive things. It was one of those small moments of pride tonight where we actually put a set in yesterday during practice to try to get some open 3-point shots, and the girls executed it perfectly a couple times. And those are those little mini confidence builders where you can start trusting your team where, hey, we're going to throw this set at you, see if we can do it, and we're getting to the point where we can really start stacking things on top of each other.
And you are seeing flashes of Frankie being more confident in the post on the offensive side. There in the fourth quarter, she buried her person, turned around with a little left-handed hook. It didn't go, but we saw that at Roosevelt as well. What are you doing into coaching her up to be more confident on that block?
A lot of the credit goes to Frankie, where we've been challenging her the whole season where, basically if you don't do your work before you get the pass, you're not open, you shouldn't get the pass to begin with. And so she's really taken that on, especially teams with some smaller defenders where she can really get in there. And, you start looking at the box score a little bit where she had a lot of bunnies at the rim where she knocks a couple of those down. Suddenly it's a different game, and that's kind of that next step for us where we start converting consistently. We're a different team.
Yeah, and it's a big testament to you and your staff that we've gone from there's this huge chasm, now it's the little things, now it's the details that really make up for it. Bobcats fall 44-30. They're going to get a break until next week, so they've got the rest of the week off to rest up and continue to get better as the Bobcats go after their 6th win, which would tie last year's total. You're watching the Halftime Report here on KFJB-TV.
Some say life is like a road trip. Is it a coincidence Scooter's Coffee is a drive-thru? We don't think so. Whether you need a coffee while you enjoy the view, to just get you through the long stretch, or to refuel between stops, Scooter's Coffee is there, brewing up delicious coffee, espresso blenders, smoothies, iced drinks, and more, with the convenience of a drive-thru so you can stay on the road and enjoy the ride. So go ahead, scoot on around. Amazing people, amazing drinks, amazingly fast. Scooters in Marshalltown.
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by Marshalltown Area Chamber. Meet in Marshalltown.com. Marshalltown Community College, a step in the right direction. And McGregor's Furniture and Mattress, quality furniture for every room in your home.
(18-14) at halftime as the Bobcats leading the Riverhawks here tonight inside the Marshalltown Roundhouse. Still waiting for some other scores to come in tonight, but Ottumwa is matching up with Des Moines Roosevelt, Waukee Northwest, and Southeast Polk. Johnston is taking on Urbandale tonight. Fort Dodge and Waterloo East. Also, it's Des Moines East and Des Moines Hoover North in Lincoln here tonight. That should be a pretty good matchup tonight, so we'll keep you up to date. And Waterloo West, who the Bobcats will see on Thursday, they are taking on Iowa City West. Second half is next when we come back. This is Halftime Coverage brought to you by Scouting America Mid-Iowa Council.
Wayward Social is the place for fun. With 20 lanes of bowling, leagues for all levels, great food and drink options, an awesome arcade, there is a ton of fun to be had at Wayward Social for date night, family fun, or the company party with plenty of space for everyone. Visit Wayward Social on Facebook for updates on specials and live music. It is all on South 6th Street in Marshalltown. Visit wayward-social.com to start planning your group outing at Wayward Social, the place for fun.
Yeah, hope to have you along for Bobcat Live coming up on Wednesday. That is tomorrow, Dylan, so mark it in your calendar.
It's marked, as all Bobcat Lives are marked in my calendar.
Tomorrow night, we'll be joined by girls and boys basketball. We'll also have girls and boys wrestling on and boys swimming. As Mike Lupi, always a trip to talk to.
He's always ready to talk, always great with the stories.
$2 off a one-topping large pizza tomorrow night as well, so you can feed the whole family, Dylan.
I love it. That sounds
You can
right
finally
up my alley.
eat this month.
Fantastic.
We are underway in the second half as the Bobcats begin with the basketball. Kyle Smith with those 14 to lead the Bobcats in the first half has it. Right wing over to Niehaus. Now a handoff to Gersma. Fake the three. Drives against Novak. And the leader is good. Drake Gersma pulling off his best Dylan Doze with the scoop and score.
I love it. Now, that's all on Novak. In no way should he got up in the air. Drake Gersma's not shooting the three very well, but he's very good at taking it to the rack.
Novak over to Hobart. Spin move. Hobart gets shut down against Kyle Smith. Three, left wing by Falls. No good, but Whitner over top of Lamar Johnson got the rebound. Put back by Whitner is no good. He draws the foul. Lamar Johnson will pick it up. That's his first of the night. And I believe that's the most we've ever seen Lamar Johnson all season in the first half. I feel like he's usually in foul trouble, but no fault to his own. He's usually tasked with the toughest assignment on the defensive side of things. And so good to see Lamar Johnson, only his first foul of the night. All right, so Whitner at the line here, makes his first. He's a 61% free throw shooter on the season. Drops in both, and it's 20-16.
Well, he just has to promise to miss the next one. But, yeah, that's Whitner was just able with those long arms to get over Lamar, but Lamar never has an easy night defensively, and often he's guarding guys 2, 3, 4 inches taller than him.
Novak reaches in right over top of Lamar Johnson and fouls him. Novak will pick up his first.
And I really think Jamison Niehaus and Lamar Johnson were very much the two important players on the defensive end. They both provided a lot of effort.
Inbound picked off. Ooh, falls. Tripped from behind, and a foul going to be called. I believe that's going to be on Lamar, his second.
Yeah, they could have called the Bobcats a couple different times down the court.
So it is his second foul in just a matter of moments. See, that's what happens when you give somebody a compliment on the air, Dylan.
He's like, you telling me I can't foul?
Now, Lamar's a tough dude.
Yes, he is.
You know, you talk about going against those tougher guys. It's just got to wear on you, right?
Yeah. Well, it can wear on you, but I think he also just takes pride that I can guard anybody out there.
The big boy, Sanchez Evans, drives, and a foul on Novak on the backside, going for the rebound.
Bobcats did a much better job. Kudos to Kyle Smith. Was able to straight up box out Novak, so no opportunity for that offensive board on the backside of the glass.
Ty Sanchez Evans, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Back in December when these two teams met. Tonight, he is scoreless.
And that is all Jamison Niehaus is early, and then Lamar Johnson. They've done such a good job of keeping him out of the spots he likes to shoot from.
A mismatch here. Sanchez Evans late to get to Kyle Smith off the front of the iron. Falls with the rebound. Jameer Falls averaging 3 rebounds per game. He's got at least that already here. Feeds it to Novak. Goes to work against Hayes. Got a piece of it. Whitner, though, gets the offensive rebound. Out to Hobart. Drives off the right side. Kyle Smith with the rebound.
Mason City has 10 offensive rebounds, but only 3 second chance points.
Tough feed to Lamar. Nobody picks up the basketball. Didn't realize it was going out, and Kyle Smith with the heads-up play puts it in for 2. It's got 16 tonight.
That was about the weirdest thing. Nobody knew where the ball was, and it was just standing there.
Falls tries to answer, but his 3 skims off the glass. And the Bobcats look to extend their 4-point lead. Here's Niehaus. Bumped by Falls from behind, and that will be his second.
Mason City has not shot the ball well whatsoever. There you see it. It's just there. Nobody looking.
Nobody except for Kyle knew where it was.
Bryn, I know you've heard the phrase, but it's the most simple defensive principle. Ball you man. Know where the ball is, know where your man is.
Kyle Smith buys some room against Hobart. 3's off the mark, and it deflects out to Hobart for the rebound. Here goes Falls on the far side. Well, he's got that high dribble going.
Well, he's got about the longest arms in the world for somebody 5'10".
Novak with the air ball. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's
if you
lanky
just look
guy.
At his arms and his legs, it's Jor all over again. He looks like he should be 6'7".
Yeah, Dwight Jor, former Marshalltown Bobcat. 22-16, time out of the floor. 4:22 to go. Third quarter on KFJB-TV.
Legends American Grill is the perfect place to watch your favorite team. Enjoy wings, nachos, steaks, and prime rib available on Friday and Saturday nights. It's game on for great food and your favorite drink to wash it down. You like burgers? Legends has fantastic, unique burger creations like this. The Legends Burger. Absolutely delicious. Gather with friends, enjoy your favorite team's games with the NFL Sunday Ticket, and make some memories. Legends American Grill in Marshalltown and our new Newton location, where the game is always on.
I'm Will Swartz. You're watching Bobcat Basketball on KFJB-TV.
22-16. Timeout on the floor taken. You take a look inside the Bobcat huddle. What's Lamar drinking?
I don't know.
A little shot of Gatorade? What was that?
Maybe pickle juice.
Oh, yeah. You need.
I saw somebody.
Helps cramps.
It does.
Yeah.
And sodium intake.
Well, our Super Tuesday here on KFJB-TV, a good one in the Conference of Champions tonight.
And you felt like this was one of those games. Bobcats have played better and better and better. It's just not being able to usually fight out of first quarter just holes that they built.
Kurzma, right wing, finds Niehaus. Drops it in. Lamar Johnson hits the deck, and he rips it away from Sanchez Evans, puts it up, and that is a man bucket right there. Lamar with 4 tonight.
And that's the second time they went with that baseline where Lamar came across. Love to see them do a little bit more with that.
Ooh, Whitner was maybe open as well as Hobart on the backside of the play, but sail that one out of bounds. There's a look at that tough play. Doing the dirty work, Lamar.
And it's Kyle Smith with that.
And he used the glass, Dylan, just like you like.
Lamar's one of the most fundamentally sound kids around the glass. If he was 6'5", he'd be a 12, 14-point
He's
game
also
scorer.
an A-plus human being.
Yes.
I know he's big into, kind of mentoring youth.
Well, it is mentoring month.
Yeah. Ball out to left wing. Jacob Hayes hits the deck, gets a tie-up. Possession arrows with Mason City. And that'll get Brynja Brynjolfsson out there clapping, as you see on KFJB-TV.
Well, this is defensive effort. It would do, Larry Eustace happy. They just did the big honoring of that 20th anniversary team with Tinsley and Pfizer and all those guys, and Larry Eustace was back. He loved a game that was in the 50s.
Do you love a game in the 20s?
I do not. Unless we're ahead, then I love it more than anything.
Bobcats up by 8 now. And a good play inside by Niehaus defensively. And they're going to give this one to the Riverhawks with 3:05 to go third quarter.
Jacob Hayes was almost like grasping for the light in the dark after he got faked out, was able to still block it. Defensive effort has just been insanely high by the Bobcats here tonight.
Inbound goes to Rickers. Gets tied up with Hayes, puts up a shot. It's off the mark. Kyle Smith definitely with a double-double now.
Yeah, he's been awesome off the glass. He's always been one of the better rebounding guards in the state, but he's been big time here tonight.
Hand off to Lamar Johnson. Kyle Smith was looking for the back door there, but lane wasn't open. Gets tied up with Falls. Now they'll inlet it. Extended right block. Steps through. And off the front. Lamar Johnson trying to go for the rebound again, but they can't. Sanchez Evans.
You can see
gets it over to
Kyle's
Falls.
legs are a little bit dead. He's short on everything.
Falls buys a little bit of room. Three's off the right side of the iron. Gersma comes away with it.
And you look at Mason City, from 3, they have not hit one tonight. They've had a lot of open looks and have missed every single one of them.
Makes a difference when it's going down, Dylan.
Yeah, it just, you're not hitting, it just makes you so one-dimensional.
Lamar finds a lane but can't convert as he's strong on the shot. Outlet to Falls near side. He'll bring it up. Hobart backs it out to the left wing. Rickers shut down at the free throw line. Now a 3. And that one off the mark. Kyle Smith snatches the rebound. Off the bench, DeAndre Judon, the senior, with that 3-ball attempt.
And you just look at the offensive sets from Mason City. Ty Sanchez-Evans is not getting it anywhere where he likes it, and they're just a lot of people Bobcats want to shoot it are the ones shooting it.
Kyle Smith and Hobart get tied up in the lane. Niehaus. Gersma for three. Can't get it to go. Off the back of the iron right there. Here comes Falls. Over to Hobart. Spin move, knocked away by Kyle Smith. Niehaus comes up with a basketball. Under a minute to go in the third. Bobcats looking to extend the 8-point lead, and Gersma blows by the Riverhawks, forcing a timeout on the floor. We'll take it with them. It's a 10-point lead for the Cats on KFJB-TV.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you need a new recliner to relax in, or perhaps a new dining set for the whole family, shop McGregor's. They also have a good selection of luxurious sectional sofas. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from the McGregor's friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selection from McGregor's Furniture and Mattress downtown Marshalltown. Open 7 days a week.
Hey, it's James Niehaus, home of the Bobcats, KFJB-TV.
26-16, 46 seconds to go in the third quarter. Bobcats out of the break on an 8-2 run, and Gersma with the last bucket just blown by the Riverhawks. And Riverhawks just can't seem to figure out a few things, including not their night from three-point territory.
No, you look at Whitner steps into a three, and that's going to rim out. Novak climbs the ladder, and that's been their offense. It's the 11th offensive rebound, and Novak he is now at 10 points.
Final 24 seconds remain with the Bobcats here in the third. I mean, if you would have told me coming in, Bobcats were only going to allow 18 points through the first three quarters to Mason City, I would have told you you're a liar, Dylan.
I think you'd probably call me a liar anyway.
Kyle Smith drives in. He'll find Hayes before the buzzer, and it's going to come up short. Ball out of bounds, but that will do it for the third quarter, and they will not put any more time back on. It is an 8-point lead for the Bobcats heading to the fourth quarter. 8 minutes to go on George Funk Court on KFJB-TV.
Auto loans at Lennox Employees Credit Union are not just for cars. If you are looking to purchase a new or used motorcycle, boat, snowmobile, or other recreational vehicle, look no further. Lennox Employees Credit Union has low loan rates, and the loan process is so easy. Visit lennoxecu.com for rates and membership eligibility information, or go to 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown to visit with one of our loan officers. Lennox Employees Credit Union, member NCUA.
Mason City has won the last two meetings between the Bobcats, but before that, the Bobcats had won 4 in a row, so trying to get back on the winning streak. This has always been a really tough battle between these two teams, and right here tonight, Bobcats are looking to split this year. This would be a tremendous win to stop a 5-game losing streak, and just kind of showing the difference of the tale of two halves in this season so far.
Yeah, really. For the first 4 years I've covered them, Bobcats have always been favored. They've lost a couple times. This year, Mason City's kind of flipped the script, and they've had a much more successful year. But the Bobcats continually defensively grinding it out, and Kyle Smith with some big buckets.
16 tonight for the junior. Inside, Hayes scores his second bucket of the night. And both, just like that, little floaters beating that defense at the free throw line. Inside to Sanchez-Evans. Finds a wide open Rickers. Three is no good. Sanchez-Evans trying for the rebound, but Niehaus beats him out for it.
That's a great box out. Jamison Niehaus, can't say enough for what he's done defensively. Bobcats have to be ready to play off of Kyle and not expect Kyle just to make all the points.
Ten seconds on the shot clock. Gersma with a bad underhand flip to Niehaus. It's picked off, and Niehaus going to pick up the foul as he guards Marcel Whitner coming up the court. just a little too tight in a bump. And in a 10-point game, that'll be the first foul of the fourth quarter.
And I don't understand that pass by Gersma because they had gotten the switch. So Gersma was guarded by Novak. Gersma can just go right around him, and the lane was open. Sophomore guard needs to just take that basketball to the bucket and get two.
Inside to Whitner. Up past Lamar Johnson, but it's strong, and Kyle Smith comes away with it. Boy, Lamar's been special on the defensive side tonight.
Yeah, just a ton of energy, right positioning, and he's strong. Mason City, they are going to look at this film and just be like, we had so many opportunities and just could not finish.
Gersman and Niehaus off a screen. Now Kyle Smith off a screen, and boom! That is a big one. Fourth quarter three. Third of the night for Kyle Smith, and it extends the lead 31-18.
And Coach Trask continues to look to that bench and trying to shuffle new people in to get some different energy or something, and it's not resulting in anything.
13-point lead, largest of the night, and now Novak takes it to the Bobcats inside. He'll draw the foul. This is his third and one of the night as we take a look at that last three by Kyle Smith. So good off the screen, catch and shoot.
And you got the perfect matchup there. You have to get a traditional post big body in Sanchez Evans is chasing on that. If you're getting Sanchez Evans chasing Kyle Smith, it's going to be good news for the Bobcats.
And Novak finally misses a free throw here on the and one as the Bobcats get the rebound. 31-20, 11-point lead as Kyle Smith picked up his first foul of the night right there. By some space, now drives, right block, off the glass, misses it, gets his own rebound, feeds out to Niehaus, it's bouncing around, Bobcats will hit the deck, and a jump ball, and it will be Mason City possession.
There was a lot of physicality there. Kyle Smith kind of got caught nowhere, so he just bounced it off the backboard to himself, but couldn't go straight back up, and then it was Pinball Wizard for about 13 seconds. That might be an exaggeration. Might have been more like 3.
It was a while. Novak, right wing. Sanchez Evans, runner, no good, off the front of the iron. He's still scoreless. And a tie-up possession arrow as Niehaus gets into it with Sanchez Evans. As Sanchez Evans kind of looks around, he looks like he's kind of beat.
He's, there's nothing more exhausting than not having rhythm, missing things you usually make.
Well, in a 2-hour bus ride, Dylan.
Yes.
Niehaus has it poked away. Tries to get tangled up, can't. And now a foul as Falls has it as Kyle Smith will foul with 5:02 to go in the game. Second of the night on Kyle Smith.
They're going to call that on Jamison, actually.
Oh, wow.
It was kind of pick your own because both of them were vying for that foul call.
Falls will drive. And blocks shot. Gersma blocks the shot of Jameer Falls on the left block.
Drake gets up. He's had 3 or 4 of those blocks this year on a chase down block where the guy gets past him, but he's able to recover.
Johnson and Whitner get tied up. Sanchez Evans has his first bucket of the night as he puts it off the block and off the glass for 2.
Bobcats need to execute here, and another turnover. They've been really sloppy.
Yeah, a little pressure being put onto the backcourt now by Mason City. Feed into Whitner. He'll go to work against Gersma, and Gersma leaned. Shot was no good, but Whitner at the line for 2.
There you see a little crossover, but Drake tracks him down and is able to knock it away.
Whitner's first will cut it down to a 10-point game.
That's actually going to be 8.
8. You're right.
I wish it was 10.
I was thinking it was the other way around.
Yeah, I wish it was 10.
Now 7 if my math's correct, Dylan.
And I feel like Marcel Whitner's lying to us. His free throw percentage says he's 60%. Tonight he's 100%.
4-4 at the line. Niehaus bumped in the front court. Novak almost knocks it away, but Kyle Smith comes up with the basketball. Inside, he'll drive, and a blocking foul. Who's that on? False? I believe it might be false, and it is, as he bumps on the way in. Kyle Smith, his third foul.
I really like that Kyle saw Novak on him, so he took him to the rack.
Gersma, baseline right side, inbounding. Almost tipped away by Sanchez Evans, but Niehaus comes away with it.
This is
still too early for keep away, Dylan.
Yeah, you want to get a good shot. You don't want to waste time just to waste time.
Niehaus gives a fake, hands off to Hayes. Three's off the mark, and Sanchez Evans tips it to himself for the rebound. Under 4.
This is a big possession.
Kyle Smith almost steals it. Falls gets it back, then throws it away. Novak getting in a scrum with Johnson. They'll hit the deck jump ball. Mason City will keep it with 3:38 to go in the game.
Mason City tried to throw it to us twice, and we just could not secure the basketball.
7-point game. Inbound to Ty Sanchez Evans. Feeds out, far side corner. First of the night. First three made by Mason City, and it's Drayden Witt. He has 5 tonight and a timeout on the floor. It's down to a 4-point game with 3:31 to go on George Funk Court on Super Tuesday on KFJB-TV.
Make the equity in your home work for you with the home equity loan from Lennox Employees Credit Union. Crush high-interest credit card debt and make needed improvements to your home. You have the power to refinance and change your financial life. With the lower interest rate, repayment is more comfortable than paying those high credit card interest rates. The loan process is easy. See Lennox Employees Credit Union, 1004 East Main Street in Marshalltown. Member NCUA Equal Housing Lender. Online at lennoxecu.com.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by Assured Partners, power through partnership. Greg Young Chevrolet of Marshalltown. Drive with Greg Young and experience top auto service and selection. And Lennox Employees Credit Union, lennoxecu.com.
Out of the timeout taken, Bobcats up by just 4 now. A short time ago, they led by 13. Kyle Smith, right wing, gets it back to Gersma. What's changed really in your mind?
It's really become a lack of assertiveness and a lot of turnovers in the half court. It's coming down. Bobcats really sloppy with the basketball, but there's Drake Gersma. He's not a prolific three-point shooter, but he's a gamer and has his 7th point on the night.
Huge one right there. Gets it back to a 7-point game, and a 3 by Whitner to answer is no good. Kyle Smith with another rebound.
And outside of Witt's three-point shot, it has not been kind out there. But really, the Bobcats defensively have been good all night long. Offensively, at points, they've gotten stagnant when Kyle Smith has not been able to hit threes.
Niehaus finds Lamar Johnson for 2. Great response out of the timeout. Back to a 9-point lead. Here's Falls. Euro step, pops in and out. Kyle Smith with another rebound.
What a response by the Bobcats out of that timeout.
Gersma holding it in the circle. Being guarded by Whitner. Oh, 5 seconds closely. Oh, no, a timeout. Bobcats just about turned it over, throwing it into the backcourt, but a timeout before that. And the Cats catch a huge break. 1:46 to go on KFJB-TV.
At Greg Young Automotive, we go the extra mile for our customers across Iowa. Why do customers choose us and keep coming back? Because our commitment to exceptional service and satisfaction never wavers. With our extensive network of dealerships throughout Iowa, we leverage unbeatable pricing and offer a better inventory selection than other dealerships. Visit any of our 6 locations across the state and experience the Greg Young difference, where we'll go the extra mile for you.
Hey Bobcat Nation, this is Arian Hancock and you're watching Bobcat Basketball on KFJB-TV.
Bobcats lead at 9. A timeout just in the nick of time, Dylan.
It was a perfectly timed timeout, but what I absolutely love coming out of that previous timeout is the Bobcats get 2 huge buckets, and they get it. Here's Drake Gersma lines it up. Has not been, as far as percentage-wise, a big three-point shooter, but he's knocked down some big ones. The last 2 possessions, 3-ball Drake Gersma, 7 points all in the second half, and Lamar Johnson on the block to get another bucket.
Bobcats still with the basketball out of the timeout. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Gersma gets a screen from Lamar Johnson. Can't do anything with it. 1 second. Gersma forces the 3. And the ball tipped out right to Niehaus. Bobcats keep it. Lamar Johnson drives in. He's fouled on his way up.
That was one of those, they could have called that foul from about the free throw line down. He was getting ridden for about 6 seconds. If it would have been 8, we'd have a new PBR champion.
You've been saving that one, haven't you?
I just thought of it. My bull riding passion that just started 6 seconds ago.
Watching CBS Sports Network on the weekends. Lamar Johnson, first free throw, no good.
You got to make a free throw.
Second one to come. Bobcats, since they last played the Riverhawks, they shot 23 free throws in that game. Neither one good here for Lamar Johnson. But since that point, Bobcats have only shot 26 free throws as a team, which has coincided with an 0-5 record in their last 5 games. Whitner's 3 is off the mark, and they're going to give it to the Riverhawks as...
I think it was off Kyle's leg.
Yeah,
there.
Kyle Smith went for it, as well as Ty Sanchez-Evans. 1:18 to go. Hobart inbounds up high, stolen by Gersma. 3-on-1, gives it up to Lamar. Inside, Leaner's good. 6 for Lamar, and that might seal the deal, up by 11.
I am just seeing a Euro when I look at Lamar Johnson. That is an OPA player of the game type effort. And then defensively, he's been awesome.
Yeah. Jacob Hayes, no one finds him, and he slices in for 2. He has 6, and a timeout taken. We'll take it with them. 40-27, Cats with the lead. Looking to end their 5-game losing streak against their rival in the Riverhawks.
The right insurance agent can make all the difference. Assured Partners agents represent multiple insurance companies. They can pick and choose from a larger variety of outstanding insurance options. Assured Partners also handles life and health insurance and Medicare supplement coverage. With access to local, regional, and national insurance companies, Assured Partners will create policies tailored to the coverage you need. For more information, go online to assuredpartners.com/Marshalltown. Power through partnership with Assured Partners in Marshalltown, Toledo, and West Des Moines.
Kyle Smith, the leading scorer, with 19 for the Cats tonight, but Lamar Johnson, he has himself 8, and his last score was a big one right here, as you see on KFJB-TV.
Yeah, his body was all morphed differently, but was able to get it up off the glass perfectly.
Sanchez-Evans drives and runs over Lamar Johnson on his way in. They're going to call a blocking foul on the Bobcats. And that one came on Niehaus.
Did Kyle get hit in the groin, or did he pull a... Get hit in the groin or pull a groin?
Sanchez-Evans at the line for 2, and the first one is no good for Sanchez-Evans, a 58% free throw shooter on the season. That foul on Niehaus, his 3rd. And misses the 2nd rebound. Bobcats, Gersma gets it. Over to Hayes, back to Gersma. And the Riverhawks will not foul, and that might do it here tonight. As they get it in the front court, shot clock is off. Whitner covering up Hayes.
How is that
They're
not
begging
a foul?
for a foul.
He was hugging him from behind.
And 4 seconds will come off here, and that will do it. Bobcats will win it 40-27. Riverhawks had it down to a 4-point game with just 3 minutes to go, but the Bobcats end up running away with it here late.
Yeah, they took that timeout. Bobcats, I believe it was 31-27 at that point. The Bobcats scored 9 straight to finish it out. Huge effort that started on the defensive end, but late it was offensive plays by Lamar Johnson, Jacob Hayes, and Drake Gersma that sealed it.
13-point victory for the Bobcats tonight as they improve to 4-9. The loss drops the Riverhawks to 6-5 as the Bobcats get their second conference victory here tonight as Riverhawks drop to 3-2 in conference play. Coming up, it is our locker room report, all presented by Wells Fargo Advisors. We'll talk to the man you see right there, head coach Mike Apple. That's on the way right here on KFJB-TV.
At Sports Plus Sports Medicine and Physical Therapy Center, we customize each patient's treatment plan to their individual needs. What does that mean? It means that not every back or knee problem is treated the same, and that your program will be unique and designed especially for your needs or problem. This improves how quickly you will return to work or sports. The Sports Plus staff is encouraging and takes pride in your successful recovery. This is just one more reason why champions choose Sports Plus Physical Therapy as their favorite place to rehabilitate and train.
McGregor's Furniture and Mattress is your local furniture store in Marshalltown, and they are proud to support Marshalltown Bobcat Athletics. If you need a new recliner to relax in, or perhaps a new dining set for the whole family, shop McGregor's. They also have a good selection of luxurious sectional sofas. Score the mattress of your dreams with an assist from the McGregor's friendly and knowledgeable staff. You'll be the household MVP when you bring home the winning selection from McGregor's Furniture and Mattress downtown Marshalltown. Open 7 days a week.
YMCC, competitive athletics, affordable tuition, on-campus living, online courses plus 2 campus locations, unique programs, career training, small classes, short-term hands-on training. Choose MCC.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Welcome back into the Marshalltown Roundhouse. Our Locker Room Report, all presented by Wells Fargo Advisors in Marshalltown. Well, defense, the name of the game here for the Bobcats. They hold the Riverhawks to just 27 points and win it 40-27. Leading scorer for the Bobcats tonight, Kyle Smith, finishes with 19, 7 for Drake Gersma. All those points came in the second half. 8 for Lamar Johnson. Jacob Hayes with 6 here tonight as well. Drew Hobart finishes with 2, 6 for Marcel Whitner on the Riverhawks side of things. Drayden Witt with 5. Ty Sanchez-Evans with just 1 bucket here tonight after having 16 points against the Bobcats back on December 19th. Andrew Novak, 12 points to finish as he's a double-double man, and I believe he probably exceeded 10 rebounds here tonight for Mason City as well. Bobcats with the win go to 4-9. They're now 2-3 in the Iowa Alliance North. For Mason City, they dropped to 3-2 in conference play. They're now 6-5 on the season. Mason City will be at home against Fort Dodge on Friday night. Bobcats will travel to Waterloo West coming up on Thursday. We'll talk more about that coming up in a little bit. We'll take a timeout. We'll name our OPA player of the game when we come back. This is Bobcat Basketball. You're watching KFJB-TV.
You look forward to retirement as your time to relax. But now that it's here, turns out relaxation is overrated and you'd rather get back to work with an idea of your own. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When retirement plans change course, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is sponsored by Sports Plus, sportsplusTherapy.com. Wayward Social, the place for bowling, games, food, and more. And Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, helping you develop strategies for pursuing your financial goals.
Welcome back inside the Marshalltown Roundhouse on KFJB-TV. Now time to name our player of the game, all presented by Opa Grill in Marshalltown. Serving up Greek and traditional favorites. All you have to say is Opa. Well, Lamar Johnson, our player of the game tonight, he finishes with 8 points, but was spectacular on the defensive end. A lot of heart, hustle, muscle out there tonight, including this last bucket of the night as Gersma came up with a steal. It was a 3-on-1 fast break, and Lamar just twisting around, kind of a reverse layup right there, ends and seals the deal. So Bobcats slide away with a 13-point victory at home inside the Roundhouse here tonight. So again, congrats to Lamar Johnson, our OPA player of the game, as Lamar Johnson receives a $25 gift certificate as the OPA player of the game to OPA Grill in Marshalltown. We'll talk with the head man coming up right around the corner in Mike Apple as the Cats victorious here tonight inside the Roundhouse. You're watching the Locker Room Report, all presented by Wells Fargo Advisors in Marshalltown. This is KFJB-TV.
What does OPA mean? OPA means joy, enthusiasm, and approval. And when you dine at OPA Grill in Marshalltown, you'll understand why. With their made-to-order pastas, soups, and salads made daily with the freshest ingredients. Favorites include chicken parmesan pan-fried to perfection, fresh and light chicken lemon rice soup, and their signature OPA salad topped with seasoned gyro meat. OPA Grill Family Restaurant in Marshalltown, where you can dine in or drive through. All you have to say is OPA!
You planned and saved for your child to go to college, but medical school after graduation was a surprise. A happy, expensive surprise. Wells Fargo Advisors can help. For more than 125 years, we've created wealth management and investment strategies aimed at achieving our clients' personal financial goals. When opportunities surprise you, turn to Wells Fargo Advisors. Together, we'll go far.
Wells Fargo Advisors is located at 14 East South Ridge Road in Marshalltown. Call them at 641-752-5401. They're a member SIPC.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Our next broadcast for Marshalltown Bobcat basketball is Thursday night as the Bobcats will travel to take on the Riverhawks of Waterloo West. Boys only game on Thursday. Coverage starts at 7:15. Tip-off slated for right around 7:30. Dylan standing by with head coach Mike Apple. Our post-game chat all brought to you by Laurel Diesel Services, your locally owned qualified diesel mechanics. Dylan?
Since January, Bobcats have been 0-5, but really playing some of the best basketball of the year. It would come down to a few possessions here or there, but tonight, 32 minutes, all of them put together. And, Coach, I want to read some stats to you here real quick. 2 points, Ty Sanchez-Evans. 6 points, Marcel Whitner. No quarter in which Mason City scored 10 points or more. 27 total points. And then Lamar Johnson playing defense. What can you say about this defensive effort tonight for the Cats?
Oh, it was great. Our execution, our game plans going into things, we've just switched and been a little more intentional on how we guard, individual guys, and it's been working in our favor, really. Kind of doubling to guys at times on ball screen actions, and then kind of not guarding guys in certain situations just to have extra help and send them to help other better players. And our guys have really bought into what we're trying to do and really, really executed well when we get to games, and it's paid off. I mean, holding a team like that I think scored 64 points, I think, the first time we played them there to, 27 tonight, that's going to give us obviously a chance to win games.
And this is the best Riverhawks club that I've seen over my 5 years covering you guys. But what I really loved, it was up by 13. Then it got down to 4. You called a timeout. And then the buckets out of that timeout. Drake Gersma, a 3-ball. Lamar Johnson. Jacob Hayes. It didn't have to be Kyle Smith late. How important is that everyone is starting to come to the table and eat?
Yeah, we kept our composure there, you know, when they kind of came back. They did try and apply a little bit of pressure there and trap us at times, and we got a little shaky. But, I mean, we made some shots when we needed to. Drake hit that huge three, and then Jacob Pineda made a nice play there and made one. So other guys stepping up when the game gets a little bit tighter, when, you know, the team's trying to take away Kyle a little bit more. That's what we need, and we did a really nice job of that.
And then finally, and I don't want to leave out Jamison Niehaus on post defense. I thought between both of them, Novak had what Novak had because he's 6'5" and very skilled. But to have a couple 6-footers in Niehaus and Lamar Johnson battle so much on the boards and still have energy to go, how important are those two for your ball club?
They're huge. I mean, I thought this was Jamison's best game of the year, just his effort and his intensity and being locked in and guarding, you know, 45 as well as he did tonight was huge for us. And Lamar's going to do what Lamar does. You know, he's just consistent for us defensively, and he always plays hard, and he did a really nice job. I mean, he made it really hard for three to score tonight, and, you know, those are kind of their two guys. If you can kind of take away those two, and like you said, with 11 there, he's big enough to hurt you at times with the offensive rebounds, but we did a solid job on him too.
Yeah, I gave up some offensive rebounds, not a lot of second chance points, but most importantly, a 13-point victory. So congratulations, Coach. Enjoy it. You got the Riverhawks Thursday, but you got a win here tonight.
We did, and I didn't realize Kyle had this many, but he ended up with 19 rebounds tonight. So he did a nice job on the boards tonight. So it kind of surprised me when I saw that, but.
Yeah, we knew he was a double-double, but almost a 20-20. That's pretty insane from the 6'4" guard, but Kyle's been big all year long and continually getting better. Bobcats get their first win of the new year, grab win number 4, see if they can get another one up in Waterloo on Thursday. Back to you, Brandon.
All right, thanks, Dylan. We'll take one final timeout and wrap things up from inside the Roundhouse next, right here on KFJB-TV.
When Mike Overton moved to Laurel, Iowa, he had a vision to have a diesel repair shop that would support his growing family and passion for working on diesel engines. Being part of the East Marshall community means ensuring that farmers, truck drivers, and businesses run smoothly. With a large building and state-of-the-art equipment, Laurel Diesel Services is always up for a challenge. When your farm trucks, semis, or other diesel equipment requires maintenance or the occasional repair, take it to Laurel Diesel Services.
The KFJB-TV Locker Room Report, presented by Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown.
Well, to have you along for Bobcat Live. Coming up tomorrow night, we'll talk to assistant coach Brynjar Brynjolfsson for the Marshalltown boys basketball team. We'll also have the girls basketball team and have a roundtable with them tomorrow night at the show. Look forward to that. For our KFJB-TV crew here tonight, thanks so much to Lakin Eastman, Keith Stewart on camera work, David Braga, our on-site producer. For Dylan Doze, I'm Brandon Lewis. Again, the Bobcats win it here tonight by 13 as they take down the Mason City Riverhawks 40-27. We'll talk to you Thursday night from Waterloo West High School. You have been watching Marshalltown Bobcat basketball right here on your home for the Cats, KFJB-TV.
Bobcat Athletics on KFJB-TV is made possible by Assured Partners, Greg Young of Marshalltown, Lennox Employees Credit Union, Marshalltown Area Chamber, Marshalltown Community College, The Gregors Furniture and Mattress, Sports Plus, Wayward Social, Wells Fargo Advisors of Marshalltown, Marshalltown School District, Scooters of Marshalltown, State Farm, mtownproud.com.